Earlier on I was talking about the situation where if you're here as a visitor, and by the way this doesn't apply to Chinese because they can't be here as visitors doing this change of their status. If you're here as a visitor, or in fact you're here as an employee working for somebody else, and you want to join in or establish your own business, then how do you make the transition from non-approved immigration status to approved immigration status when the immigration department applying the approvability test show us that you can make a substantial contribution to the economy of Hong Kong? Because by implication, when you are trying to satisfy the approvability test, the immigration department are going to, in a sense, not encourage you, but they're going to indicate through the way that they administer the application. There's an expectation that if you say you're going to create jobs in month 3, and you're already in month 4, that you actually have created jobs. But you could say, defensively, well, I haven't created the jobs yet because I haven't got the visa to do so. So the immigration department understand the catch-22, and that is, you're going to show benefits to Hong Kong. You can't join in the business until you've got the consent of the immigration department. You can't get the consent of the immigration department to show benefits to Hong Kong. Now you can't show benefit without joining in the business, and you can't join in the business until you've got the consent of the immigration department. So the snake's eating its tail. So the way the immigration department deal with this is very, very pragmatic. If you don't have an application in with the department to allow them to take a view as to what's going on in your proposed business, then you're vulnerable to prosecution for breach of conditions of stay. Because from their perspective, you're just cynically misusing the existing immigration status that you've got without actually having taken the right sort of steps under policy to go about getting the right immigration status to do that. So if you don't have an application in and you're running a business, you're vulnerable. If you do have an application in, you'll discover that the immigration department effectively won't take you to task for any perceived breaches of conditions of stay. They'll effectively close their eyes because they value the entrepreneurial endeavour. They want to encourage these businesses to at least be given a chance to show that they can pass the approvability test. And they know that it's a never a hard and fast situation where you're moving from visitor permissions through to business investment permissions without actually, doing stuff that represents activities that are not commensurate with your conditions of stay, either as a visitor or as a sponsored employee presently working for somebody else or just for somebody else.
I'm here if it's around visitor.
Yeah.
I'm in the process of setting up a limited liability company consultancy.
Yeah.
I've got a client who wants to commit a contract to me.
Yeah.
But I haven't got the company formed.
Yeah.
So I've got that bit and that bit in place.
Yeah.
And of course I want to get on to start earning.
Yeah.
I want to work.
Yeah.
I want to be discharging that contract. I've won.
Yeah.
So as long as you've got that, as long as you actually put an application in,
yeah,
that scenario is covered by the fact that you put an application in.
Yeah. But in your situation, I'm going to say no, because in your situation, you have either effectively a de facto employee-employer relationship. So I would say no in your situation. But again, you're very special. It's just with your circumstances. Your circumstances don't fall within the normal realms of the business investment visa scenario. The only connection there is to this and your situation is that you will need a vehicle, a limited liability company.
So I don't need an investment visa as well.
You don't need an investment visa, but the way that the application is received by the department, they will start the process of an investment visa consideration. But when they discover the actual fact of what's going on in your life, they'll say, aha, this is not really an independent business situation. This is an employee-employer situation via a consulting agreement, because the only way that he can get that, the only way the employer can engage his services is via that separate contract, because their internal policy precludes him from hiring him at 66 years of age.
So that would be in the context of one client. There would be other clients where I might be working for this first client for 6 months, or I might be working half my week on his job and another half week on somebody else's job. So I've got more than one client. We want to search through this company.
Yeah. Now we're getting to a different realm of activity. Right. Because you don't have a single employer.
Yes.
What you have is a consulting business.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the moment you get into the realm of the consulting business with different parties, the aspects of the business investment visa are now going to apply to you.
Right. So at what point do you have to put in the investment visa application?
In the context of having several clients.
Yes. So I start off with forming my company. I've got my first client.
Yeah.
And then I want to develop the consultancy business into other clients. So I have a range of clients.
Yeah. You put your investment visa in as soon as you possibly can. So as soon as you've got that first client saying, yes, we're ready to do it, at that point you put your application in. Yeah?
Good.
Should the businesses pre-exist the application, or should the application pre-exist the formation of the company?
Yeah, you absolutely need to have the company incorporated.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you need to show the business registration certificate. Without that, the impression of it won't play well. Okay? Any other questions? No? Good, move on.